What is up, you gorgeous, fabulous creatures, and welcome to my world. Welcome to my little corner of the internet with the all-new Losing It podcast. You're here with Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating coach, and I am, as you know, thrilled and delighted to have you here for another week with me. I'm a little bit pumped and excited because I put what is it? One of those questionnaire things. I put one of those questionnaire things out on my stories asking you all, what do you want to see in upcoming podcast episodes? And one of the things that y'all asked for was an FDOE day, like a full day of eating in my shoes, in my stomach. I'm inviting you behind the velvet rope and I'm going to share with you. Yes, a full day of eating. It's very okay, I mean, how interesting can that be? We all want to know what does she eat? What does she do? What makeup does she? We want to know those things. So I'm going to share with you a full day of eating, but I'm switching it up. It's not just a rando full day of eating. Honey, please, no. You know you're dealing with me here. I'm going to give you something a little different. I'm going to share with you what a full day of eating looks like when everything's fabulous in my world, which really, how often is everything just great in our world? It's not very fucking often, that's for sure. But I'm also going to share with you what a full day of eating would look like on a day when shit hits the fan and everything is going wrong, and or maybe things are not going wrong, but maybe you're just really feeling down, dealing with depression, going through a relationship breakup, loss of a job, or just any of those shit things that happen. And we think, honestly, the last thing we really give a shit about is what we're putting in our mouths. In fact, we just want to use what we're putting in our mouths to shut out the traumatic thoughts from everything else that's going on in our lives. So, my loves, I'm going to start today by sharing with you now, this is very exciting. This is my After Scale journal that I created, and I'm sort of letting the cat out of the bag here, but something very exciting is coming your way in September this year. So stand by, keep your little peepers open, because something incredibly thrilling and exciting will be dropping in September. But I'm giving you a little sneak peek as to some of the tools that I use behind the scenes. So I've got this little special fancy journal here that I use every day, and I'm going to share with you some of the entries, because here's what I do. Now, this is eating code number 2, all up in your face, right? I've talked about the eating codes multiple times. And of course, hello people, please, if you haven't got it, kyliepax.com/free course, where I share with you my free 4-part video series, and I break it all down. Like, I give it to you in mouth-sized bites? No. Bite-sized pieces so that it is digestible for you, sweetie, digestible. So it's fucking amazing, the free course. But one of the things that you'll get as an accessory is some little journaling, first of all, journaling prompts that will help you with your overeating tangents. And then also the exact same plan that I use to plan my food each day. Now, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson here. I did not plan my food for many years, and or if I was planning it, it was because I was on like some hideous diet, like, I don't know, fucking Nutrisystem or whatever. I probably shouldn't be naming people, but you know, we're just going to name and shame anyway. I did the Herbalives. I did do a little bit of Weight Watchers, but I never went to meetings or things like that. I never tried Jenny, which is, you know, a little bit random. I don't know why I neglected her. But I did so many. I was a big one trying for meal replacement shakes over and over. I remember going to buy them at a chemist here in Australia one time with my then husband, and he was watching me as I'm picking these things up and fondling them like it was a fucking like porno or something. And he's like, babe, you know these things don't work. Like, it was the voice of common sense from the man who couldn't care less and just wanted me to be happy and succeed and all that. He's just like, you know these things don't work. And I just looked at him and I said, but maybe this time they will. It could be different this time. And I trotted up to the counter and threw my, $150 at the cashier and skipped off into the sunset with my, I think that was, I can't remember what that one was called. But of course, like, it's bullshit. How can some water with a couple of vitamins thrown in there fill you up. Doesn't fill up. No, just fill up nothing. Nothing got filled up. So of course, you binge on like that. I remember doing diets where I would just swear black and blue, this is it, I'm going to eat really healthy, go and spend $100 on all these fucking like whole food type things, fill my refrigerator till it was groaning with, lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers and all this stuff, and then just completely let them go off while I binged on all the pastries and pizzas and takeaway for like all of it that whole entire week. And then I would completely, it was so insane when you think about it, and raise me an emoji hand because I know we've all done this. You spend a shit ton of money on all this fresh food because you are going to get your life together. And then something happens and you don't. And you might as well have just gone up to the greengrocer, thrown a couple of $100 in their face and then just skipped off with nothing. Because that's basically what I did. I worked, this is what I say all the time. I worked to earn the money. And then I had to spend the fuel and the time and the energy to go to the shop and exchange my money for a bunch of produce, which I then brought home and promptly let go rancid and off in my fridge. And then I just threw it in the bin. It's the most stupid thing. I might as well have taken my paycheck and set fire to it. That's what I was basically doing. It was so stupid. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see this planner here that I use. And if you're not, then you need to get the free course, kyliepax.com/free course, because that's where you can get your hands on an abridged version of this, because this is a little more complex and it will be coming in September, but you can get an abridged version via the free course. And what I do now, so when we talk about planning your food and why would I plan my food, let me tell you the number one reason, before we get even into what I actually eat, the whole reason why I plan my food is, I want to say threefold. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I don't know how many folds there'll be. Let me tell you. The first fold is because it alleviates for me the stress of moment to moment decisions around food. It's fine for me to get up in the morning and think I'm going to do fucking amazing. This is going to be fantastic. And I've got my plan in my head and I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink air and eat lettuce leaves and it's going to be amazing. But of course, the minute your stomach starts getting hungry or someone stresses you out or the boss is a dickhead, the first thing you want to do is eat. Well, one thing that I knew I needed as a chronic ex-dieter was integrity, because I had none. I was the person who would, listen, we're all this person. You tell other people that you'll do whatever for them, and you do. You bust your back doing things for other people. But for yourself, listen, I say this all the time. You will tell yourself the same shit. I'm going to do this. This would be me. I'm going to do this for you, Kylie. I'm going to eat really well. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start a program. Whatever it was, I didn't do it. I did not. I was completely out of integrity with myself in my own life. Do you think this is my life we're talking about? And for you, this is your damn life. Do you think all these other people that you are literally losing sleep for, losing your sanity for, and certainly losing the dream body that you could be living in for, do you think they really give a shit? Do you think your boss, that you fucking hate his guts anyway, or it's just a dickhead, or whatever, that they are going to give a shit when they're sitting on their yacht in the Caribbean because you made them so rich, but you are still trying to lose the 45 kilos that you gained throughout your years with them? I don't think that you are on their minds at all, sunshine. Not even for a second, my love. Not even for a second. So the first fold of me using this planner to set out what I'm going to be eating for the day is to get myself back in integrity with myself. When I say I'm going to have yogurt and fruit and nuts and whatever, some chocolate even for breakfast, I swear to you, this is what I write on my list, that yes, there is chocolate for breakfast on there. And when I say I'm going to do it, that's actually what I do. I don't sub it out for a Big Mac. I don't switch it for donuts. I don't do none of that. I stick to what I say I'm going to do. And what that does is start to build up levels of self-trust within yourself. How many of you cannot trust yourself around food? Oh, I can't keep that in the house, Kylie. I can't. If I start, I won't stop. If I eat a little bit, I have to have it all. If my partner, husband, wife brings this in the house, I can't. I just can't control myself. Can I just Can we all take a collective pause? First of all, what utter bullshit. I mean, really, are you telling me, are you going to even try and tell me that if I come to your house with your kryptonite food, whether it is cheese and dips, whether it is chocolate cake, whether it's ice cream, I come to your house with kryptonite food and I tell you, I don't want you to eat this. Are you telling me that if me and Oprah and Beyonce, we're all there now, and you will not be able to control yourself, you're going to rip off your clothes, roll around in it naked because you just cannot control yourself? Have you had a fucking lobotomy? I don't think so. I don't think so, sunshine. You fucking can control yourself. Don't even try to tell me that you can't. This is the method that I always use to ask myself, can I control myself? Please, gun to the heads. Gun to the heads. Bit of a gruesome thought or analogy, but if there was a gun to your head, could you not eat it? Let me put it to you this way. If I bring you the most delicious chocolate cake that you've ever seen, I mean, you are salivating in places that you should not be salivating. And this thing I plonk down in front of you, I say, here you go, sweetie. It's for you. I made it for you. Brand new recipe. Guess what? It's even fucking low cal. Low sugar, low cal, no carbs. In fact, you can eat this and it'll make you skinny. I already know where I'm going with this because I'm laughing and I'm thinking to myself, I'd probably eat it. And then if I say to you, but hold on, one of the ingredients was dog shit. Listen, I was so desperate back in the day. That's why I was laughing. I'm like, I'd probably fucking eat it. But really, if I say to you, one of the ingredients is dog shit, and if you eat it, it's going to wreak havoc in your body and your bowels will be ripped up and you'll get like hideous diseases. But hey, you'll be skinny. Would you eat it? Like seriously, would you eat it? There's 1,000 other ways to lose weight. KyliePax.com/free course. 1,000 other ways to lose weight. Would you put yourself at risk like that? No, of course you fucking wouldn't. You are right now just using the pain and pleasure principle that I talk about so frequently. You're using it all wrong, upside down and back to front. You are focusing on the pleasure that you think said food is going to give you, rather than tuning into or giving any thought to the pain that you're about to encounter the minute that last crumb is finished from your lips. When that last bit of cheesy goodness or chocolatey deliciousness has gone from your mouth, are you still feeling the pleasure then? Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. Right then, you're in a shit ton of pain and you're in regret and remorse. You've got eater's remorse big time. And you're feeling, I can't believe I did this to myself again. Well, here's the thing. Here's another method I use. Am I even talking about my food that I eat in a day? I'll get there, I promise. One of the other methods that I use to ask myself and really just get some clarity, do I actually want to eat this or not, is using the pain and pleasure principle. Is this a worth it food for me? Worth it. Is this a worth it food for me? If I eat this food, am I going to feel really good about myself? Am I going to feel really good in my body? And is it advancing me towards my goals? If the answer to any of those three is a no, now you know that you know me. It's not to say you can't have it. You can have it. You can have 10 kilos of it. But if you decide to have it, you better be very fucking clear on the price, the actual price of what you're about to do, because the price is not just the $2.25 that it costs to buy the item. No, that's not the price. That's not the price at all. The price is, as I just said, you shelving your dreams for one more month, you feeling shit about yourself, you having to listen to the voices in your head for the next 48 hours going, you're such a fucking loser, this will never work for you. And it will list off 5,000 other times that you've done the exact thing, promised that you wouldn't eat something, but you did. And that, my friends, is why I plan my food every day, because I don't want to listen to that voice in my head for 48 hours telling me what a loser I am. So I plan my food and I do it each morning really early. And by doing that, I have now relieved myself of the stress of decision making of what I'm going to eat, when am I going to eat it, how much am I going to eat? Like all of that goes away the minute you fill in this planner and just think, decisions made. I don't need to. I can put all that energy and thought and deliciousness into other areas of my life because the food part is taken care of. So now that we've covered that, let me tell you what I actually would eat on a regular day when life is jolly and or there's nothing really going on. Like, it doesn't have to be that you're in one of your most fabulous times of your life. Often they can be like weddings, Christmases, celebrations, all that. Often they can be stressful food times as well. But it's usually those times when there's just nothing much going on in your life. Like for me, that's right now, actually. There's nothing exciting. There's no birthdays. We're smack in the middle of winter. There's, certainly no Christmases or anything in the foreseeable future. All of that is just so far away that we're just plodding through life here, waiting for the weather to get better. So there's nothing very big going on that I need to think, oh, I've got this party, this birthday, this event going on, and I need to really stress about what am I going to eat. No, my life at the moment is pretty humdrum, and that's fine. That's a good portion of our lives. So I actually get up. I want to say in the summer, I get up at 5 a.m. Currently, I am doing my best to get up at 6 a.m. because I fucking hate this weather. But this is what I do. And again, following my eating codes, the first eating code is eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not, which means if I get up at say 6, but I'm not hungry till 10, I don't eat till 10. If I get up at 6 and I'm hungry at 6:15, I'll eat at 6:15. But generally, I try and schedule things in around what I'm doing. So if I'm going to the gym first thing in the morning, which I try to do because I'm not a huge exercise, you'll never find me being an Instagram exercise influencer because I hate it. I don't like it. I'm just being real. I do it because I know it's good for me. I do it because I know it has benefits, and I do it most especially now at my age. It would be remiss and really very foolish of me not to do it. But it would just be like playing a game of Russian roulette and hoping like fuck that the bullet doesn't head my way, sort of thing. It would be ridiculous. I'm in my early 50s. I need to get my shit together around this area if I want strong bone density and mobile joints to be able to see me through the second phase of my life. So I do it just a lot of the times out of responsibility, just like any other thing that we do in our life that we perhaps don't love, but we do it. Like for those of you with little kids who would love cleaning their baby's backside after they've, soiled their nappy. Nobody. But you do it because you love the child and you want the result of the child being clean and fresh and everybody's happy. Well, it's exactly the same. I don't love the exercise, but I do it because I like the result and I want the flow-on effects, and I do want to be clean and happy as I move forward into the next phase. So I will generally at breakfast time, I am not a huge variety person, so I switch it up every few months. Currently, I've been having coconut yogurt with frozen berries and maybe some other fruit. Like this morning I added banana. I add on top of that granola, sometimes honey. This morning I didn't do the honey, but I did melted Nutella with some coconut oil. What else? Sometimes I'll add some Kit Kat in, like just a stick of Kit Kat in there, and nuts. I always add nuts because I am vegan/vegetarian most of the time. So I'm not going to be having, a steak or something for breakfast. That's not me. That's not my vibe. So I'm always having something that's probably considered quite light at breakfast time. And I need fats to help me feel full. So I make sure I add nuts, and the coconut oil is a full fat coconut yogurt is a full fat yogurt. And again, this was something I really had to work on and get over because of the 90s and fat makes you fat and oh my God, like the Susan Powter era where everybody stopped eating fat and we all started eating copious amounts of sugar but didn't realize that the sugar was making us just as fat as fat perhaps ever did. So fat does not make you fat, of course, that's ridiculous, but it does provide you with satiety in your stomach when you eat. So I need fats, proteins, nuts. I've got all of those things covered. And for those of you who are thinking, oh, you don't eat much meat, so how do you get your protein? Can we all just please put this to bed for the last time ever? Your body doesn't make protein out of protein. Again, not a thing. Your body makes protein from amino acids, which are present in all foods in varying quantities, but your body does need the 9 essential ones, which are found in legumes, nuts, seeds. So let's all just not stress about that. On the weekends, other things that I will choose, generally when I'm more relaxed and I don't have as much on my plate, such as the weekend just gone by. Yesterday, I ate toasted, I think it was like ciabatta bread with smashed pumpkin, I think they had, it might have been a bit of feta on there, but there was certainly grilled halloumi, some kind of drizzling basil deliciousness, and lots of nuts and seeds. And we had that with some, what do you call those? The eggs, but not boiled. When you put them in the water and they are poached eggs. I wanted poached eggs and avo, so we had some extra bread with poached eggs and avo, and I was trying the other halloumi and smashed pumpkin. It was like, that was incredible. That is something I would choose normally again on a weekend. Now, I again had to do a lot of head work around this because I was scared of the cheese, I was scared of the fat, and I was also terrified of the bread, of the carbs. Look, the amount of bread that you would have to eat to gain like 5 million kilos is just an insane. Nobody would eat that amount of bread. And if you're choosing carbs in general, I would choose whole grain. So generally, if I was doing it for myself, I would have had rye or sourdough or something that's like very dark and heavy. They're the types of breads that I enjoy. But normally I would also eat a gluten-free bread because sometimes they wreak havoc with my stomach. So I am having a big variety of different types of breakfast. If I want hot, I might have porridge. Usually I'll always add something else in. I wouldn't just have a bowl of porridge. Just for me, with a nutrition background, I like to add in a greater variety of nutrients. So I would always add to my porridge, I add honey, maybe nuts, definitely walnuts. They're just so delicious. And sometimes I've even added like berries and things in there just to mix it up. But in general, that's the type of breakfast that I will have. Now, I don't usually eat anything between breakfast and lunch, not because it's a rule, just because I'm not hungry. So I will then carry on. And what I normally have for lunch is what I write on my plan is snacks. I am a huge snacker. I don't sit down to a quote unquote meal for lunch. Like, it's just not really my thing. But what I love to do is snack. So I have lunches that pretty much always consist of a whole range of snacks. I have carrot with hummus. So I have carrot sticks with hummus or beetroot dip or other things like that. If I'm at home, I'll have eggs again because I just really enjoy them. I'll sometimes put the dips onto rice crackers and then slice up the egg maybe and put them on there. I'll have some with avo and cream cheese or avo and feta. Sometimes I'll get big rice crackers or some flatbread and I'll spread the beetroot hummus and things on there and then grate carrot onto there with maybe some tuna or something like that. That's what I would generally have around lunchtime. And again, if I want something sweet, I will just add it in there. Like I'll have a small chocolate or something like that. I generally don't, I'm not one, we all have our own binging tendencies. I don't binge at breakfast or lunch anymore. Let me preface that, anymore. I don't, because I want to feel good throughout my day. If I'm going to trip up, it's going to be nighttime. So for the rest of the afternoon, maybe sometimes I'll have some chips or something with it if I feel like it, hot chips or just a packet of chips or something like that. And then at nighttime, again, because it's winter, so at the moment, and Phil being Korean, we're really big on kimchi soup. He has his with disgusting meat in it. And I just say that because, listen, no shade on everybody who loves their meat. Love, of course. And it just doesn't smell nice to me. He gets the most stinkiest meats. I mean, whatever, I don't know where he finds these things. I truly don't. It's like they crawled out from under a bridge and then he clonked it over the head and thought, I'll put that in my food. But so he has that, and I will have it with tofu, and maybe sometimes he puts egg in there. Like, it's just really, really yummy. So I've been having a lot of kimchi soup or other soups I'll often have. We love Indian, but most of the time I'll eat a salad with something else. I always try and get my salad in. Again, this has got nothing to do with weight loss. This is purely because with a nutritionist background, I like to maximize my opportunities for getting the most nutrients in that I can. So my salads always look like lettuce, or actually not very often lettuce at all. They look like baby spinach and or kale as a base, and then I just build things on top of that. Very often I will also buy salads from a really great, we've got a place near us that makes unbelievable salads that you can buy in bulk. Like, you just buy a big tub of their chickpea salad or their hummus salad or anything like the tabulis and things like that. So I will throw a whole bunch of things in that I like. So some cherry tomatoes, baby spinach and all those sorts of things, and I'll throw them in, and then maybe some sweet corn or something, mushrooms. I'm big on mushrooms. And then I'll dump this incredible salad that somebody's actually put the time and energy into making taste really good. I'll dump a bunch of that on top, and then I'm set. Now, what I will say is that my goal is to be able to do this, but as of now, I still can't do it. I need to have chocolate every night. And when I say need, it's probably not the right language for me to be using because it just reinforces that I do need it. But right now, I just feel like I cannot end the night without chocolate. For me, it is because I spent so many years depriving myself, telling myself I can't have it. That's for everybody else, it's not for you. You can't have it because you can't control yourself. I told myself horror stories for so long that now I just need to let my body know, still after all these years, you can have it, it's fine, you're allowed. I have to give myself permission. I anticipate the day will be coming, not too far away, where I know that I have permission and I also choose not to eat it. But right now I still feel like, no, I just absolutely have to have it. So I will either just get some commercial chocolate, like this one that I've got here, which I'm sure now you can all hear the crinkly. This one's just caramel from Cadbury. I mean, it's just so good. I think everybody in Australia loves their caramel. Or I've recently just started making my own chocolate again, which I really enjoy. I really enjoy it because I know exactly what's in it and it's not a buttload of sugar. But I don't use sugar substitutes. I use rice malt sugar, which is extremely sweet, but it doesn't spike your blood sugar like regular white refined sugar does. And I make my own really dark chocolate because I enjoy really bitter chocolate as well. So I'll make a coffee chocolate with walnuts, which is, again, incredible. The recipe for that is on my Insta. I will put the link in the show notes because it's something that you might want to try. Now, this podcast is starting to run a little long, which always freaks me out because I like to keep them around the 15-20 minute mark. So let me tell you what I choose to eat because it's always a choice. We always have a choice. And these are the choices that I make on days when things are not good. I could tell you about but I know I've spoken about it before, when my husband and I got divorced and I gained 15 kilos during that time. So it's not hard to imagine what I ate. I ate anything that wasn't nailed down. I ate anything that didn't eat me first. But these days when I'm stressed, depressed, feeling down, feeling very challenged, or sometimes it can just be feeling overwhelmed, like there's too much going on, you just don't even know where to start or how to deal with it. On those days, we are so tempted to turn to food just to give ourselves some relief from what is going on in our external world, which is, of course, causing us to think, thoughts that are giving us a lot of stress. So I want to talk to you a little bit about a concept that I can't recall if I talk about this in my free course or not, but I'll just talk to you a little bit about it here, give you a brief outline that I call basic, better, best. In which case, a basic food choice would be like, I'm really stressed, I'm so upset, I'm depressed, something huge has happened, and not necessarily even something huge, just maybe something that's caused me a huge amount of stress, grief, whatever, and I really just feel like I need to eat today. I just need to eat. I'm not going to be making my smartest food choices today. That is where I would use the basic, better, best scale. A basic choice would be like, I really can't handle this right now. I just need to get fish and chips or burger and chips or pizza or whatever. I'm not going to be sitting down to doing a Martha Stewart fucking homemade meal that's all nutritious and shit. Like, I'm just not doing that. So a basic choice would be you just getting the pizza and probably eating too much. And I do that periodically, and I don't kill myself over it. Like, what I do is make sure that I assess it the next day. I ask myself what was going on, like what was that all about? Did it really solve the problem? Like, really? Did it make things better, or did it make it potentially just a little bit worse? I don't just beat myself up for 4, 5, 6, 7 days and then try and start again a week later. Those days are completely gone. Like, that's bullshit, complete bullshit, and a waste of your time, everybody's time, quite frankly, a waste of life. And I spent way too long doing that. So I don't do that anymore. But on those days, I fully embrace that I am okay making a basic choice. That's fine. I embrace it. I own it. I let it be what it needs to be. And then as I'm starting to feel better, or circumstances are starting to change and then I'm starting to feel better, I will make a better choice. So we're no longer making basic choices on those days. On those days, I would make a better choice, which could be, let's just be very clear. I want to establish this. If you're going through a very stressful time, like when my mum died, of course, the death of anybody you love, unbelievably stressful. I was probably not making the best food choices during that time, but I started off making basic ones, and then I started moving up the scale a little bit to better choices. So my better choice would be maybe instead of having the whole pizza, I would just have a half a pizza and some salad. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better than what I was doing. And then of course, as time moved on and it wasn't so busy, we weren't organizing all the details and doing the things that you have to do when a loved one passes away, then I was able to get back in my groove and start making my best choices. So you'd see that would look like me maybe, potentially, not having the pizza at all, but maybe moving to a stir fry and then something else at home. Or the best choice in that scenario might be having only 2 or 3 slices of pizza plus some salad or soup or whatever, veggies or whatever else I was going to have at that time. Do you see what I mean? The best choice is never you floating around with angel's wings and making angelic food choices. That's not what the best choice is about. The best choice is about you enjoying your food and eating it in a manner that you feel good about, and making choices that you know your body is going to be able to thrive on moving forward. It doesn't, again, it's not perfection. It's just you leveling up throughout the progress of your weight loss journey and dealing with emotional eating at the same time. So my loves, with that, we're going to wrap it up for today. I hope you found this helpful, because I think I found this episode incredibly helpful as well, just to clarify all of this. So again, if you are sharing this on social media, please remember to tag me so that I can share you back and send you some love. I am extremely thrilled and delighted when you do that, because it's so fun. It is so fun. And of course, my goal is to get this message out to as many women as I can. Okay. My goal is to get this message out to as many women as I can so that we can help lift each other up and support each other, because when you start giving yourself permission to change your life and make yourself better, you give another woman permission to do the same. I'm sending you tremendous amounts of love. I will see you all again next week. Until then, gorgeous ones, bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to shimmy your butt over to kyliepax.com/free course and sign up for my free weight loss training so you can start losing your weight now. You'll also find helpful notes and resources in my past podcasts that will help you lose your weight without the BS diet drama. I'll see you next week.